Chronomaly is a very, very consistent deck now with the addition of Nebra Disk, allowing you to get Skull and Skull. You can pitch and get pretty much anything. You have 3 Stratoses, but it's not only a Stratos, but it has the ability to resurrect itself from the graveyard, making the Chronomaly OTK much more easily pulled off. The deck doesn't focus on that OTK, but having just the 2 cards and the correct setup, the OTK can happen just out of nowhere, you know. This deck doesn't particularly focus on the OTK, but it only is a 2-card OTK with the right setup, and it can quickly catch your opponent off guard and give you the game. The extra deck is very diverse, gives you a lot of options, not only the OTK. The extra deck is also very, very diverse and allows for a number of plays involving bouncing and negating, destruction, sucking up, searching, it's fantastic. I've been very successful with the deck recently. I've won the last 3 tournaments that I've been to playing this deck. For those who do not know how the OTK is obtained, I'm going to give you a quick demo on how that works. Your opponent is going to, assuming that no damage has been done, you're at 8,000, your opponent is at 8,000 life points. Let's say you know they don't have a Veiler, the back row is pretty clear, or you really feel like you've got a good chance at pulling off the OTK, and this happens a lot actually. It's not that hard. It will require a few things. Number 1, you'll need a disc in the graveyard, and you'll need a skull in the graveyard, although this card can also be in your hand. Your opponent's gonna have a monster. Use special summon Bones. You're gonna use Bones' effect to bring Skull back from the graveyard. You're gonna then normal summon your Jet. Now you're not gonna use this effect yet because you wanna pull back your Nebra Disk from the graveyard and special summon it. Now that'll come in defense mode. Now what you're going to do is use your Jet's effect, and Jet is going to boost all of your Chronomaly monsters by 1 level, making Disk and Jet 5 and Skull and Bones both 4. You're overlaying both of your 4s now and making for Hyuk, and then both of your 5s making Mech. Now comboing both of their effects together, I usually take Skull so I can have a Bones target quickly. Targeting your opponent's monster that has 2800 attack, now making it 0. Then you're going to use Mech's effect, detaching probably Disc so that next turn you can resurrect it as a chunk blocker, make another Exceed monster, whatever. You're going to be making your opponent's monster that has 0 attack. The difference between its original attack and its current attack is 2800. So your opponent's going to take 2800 burn damage, and with that, Mech's going to boost itself by 2800, making it 5200. Now, for those who can do math, 52 and 28 is exactly 80, or 8,000 damage. And so your opponent's not going to be able to battle Faders, Scarecrow, any of that, play Gores, Trag, or anything to save itself, because that's going to be just punk for 8,000. And that's more or less how the combo is pulled off. Another combo that I'd like to showcase on this deck profile involving the Chronomaly combos is another one that involves the same setup, the same cards. So you're going to either have your Skull in your hand or your graveyard. You're going to have Disc in your graveyard, and you're going to have Jet and Bones in your hand once again. Doing the same set of moves, you're going to special summon your Bones. Bones is going to be able to bring back Skull from the graveyard. Then you are going to normal summon the Jet, and then with these guys on board, bring back your Chronomaly Disk from the graveyard. What you can do is overlay Skull and Bones both together, and that's going to make you your Gorgonic Guardian. Okay, and then you can take your 2 4s and you can overlay them for Regna Zero. Now, with this current setup, being that you brought back Nebra Disk from your graveyard, you cannot activate any of their effects. So, with what is currently on your opponent's side of the board, you're going to have to deal with just a 1600 attacker and a 2400 attacker. However, assuming you can get through, plunk your opponent, or just take down the monster that they had on board in order that you special summoned your Bones. On your opponent's next turn, what you're able to do is, because both of these effects can be activated on your opponent's turn and they both work well together, you can use Gorgonic Guardian's effect to take one of its materials, target one of your opponent's monsters, it'll negate its effect and make its attack 0. Now after that has resolved, you're going to be able to take Regna Zero and detach one of its materials to target that same monster that is at 0 attack, because its attack is going to be different than its original attack. You're going to bust it just like Gorgonic Guardian would do anyway, but you're going to get the draw. So you're going to get a draw all off of that. And if you have back row to protect these guys and they put something on board that you can just pause with, you can either Fiendish Chain or something like that to hold it back, then you have the exact same combo for your next turn. Now, you're going to overlay these two guys and you're going to make yourself your wonderful Gorgonic Guardian. Again, you can't activate its effect this turn, but on your opponent's turn, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Now, using Jet's effect, making both of these 5, you can overlay and make Pallades. Now, you currently have basically an effect negator and anything that can return anything on the field. So your opponent is going to have a very tough time putting an Exceed monster, a Synchro monster, anything on board to fight against these guys. This is pretty vile for those that have fought against something like this. And again, either player's turn. Very strong combo. Okay, with this exact same setup, you have another option available to you. Using Jet's effect, you can boost both of Skull and Bones up by up to 4 and Disk and Jet up to 5. Overlay your 2 for 4, and you can do a number of things, but one thing that I like to do, okay, is get your Omega, and then overlay both of these and make this into Pallades. This allows you to have, basically, these guys are both going to be protected against spells and traps, and Pallades can take care of anything that's pain in the butt on the way. And both of these, again, are on either player's turn. Of course, also, at any time, because both of them are Constellars, you can overlay to make M7 if you need something bigger. But both of these are either player's turn. Another combo using the exact same setup, using effect, you make both of these guys 4, and make a monster here, and both of these guys 5, and upgrade them to Freezer Dawn and upgrade to Zero Lancer. Now basically what you have here is a really difficult monster to get over, and a monster that makes anything that your opponent puts out once a turn to 0. And Full Lancer is going to be able to basically keep itself at a very high attack. So if you need to get one big push in, you summon both of these. Summoning this exact combo is going to allow you to do 3,700 points of damage against anything that is on board that is allowed, that you can actually target with attacks. You can take one of Forthyuk's materials, target one of your opponent's monsters, and its attack is going to become 0, and then plunk it great for 3,700 damage. That's going to be it for me today. I'm going to be making another deck profile in a little while. One is going to be kind of a fun deck, and then one is another competitive deck. But this currently is the one that I'm enjoying playing the most, and I've been the most successful with. Fits my playstyle very well. Anyway, please post some comments in the section below, like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Happy dueling.